down 1,000 times. I ain't going nowhere. Yeah, I'm standing right here. Demons all around, but I ain't got no fear.
All right, guys, welcome to the show. We got an exciting one here. We're talking about players. Are they going to be gold or are they going to be sold? That's a trash can, Gwen. Welcome to the show. I'm excited to dive into this.
I'm excited too. Hopefully Connor's in the trash can so we don't have to see anything from him today.
Apparently he is. So we've got a list of, I don't know, like 7 or 8 players here. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about them and we're going to say, are we going to draft them or are we going to dump them? Are they gold or are they sold? Sound effects are going to drive people nuts this episode, but I'm excited because I got the power to the buttons. Gwen, how you doing? I'm excited to dive into this. I mean, we are full flow, almost fantasy. People are going to start doing their drafts now, and we're just giving them the best possible entertainment and fun we can. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. Give them gold so they can win their leagues.
Now, you are going on vacation. We may miss you for the middle part of August. You're going to be producing reels, but we're going to get you back just let everybody know we're going to get you back for the end of August. You'll be back, and then we get you through the season. So that'll be fun when football actually starts.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's good to take some time off from work for sure.
All right, before we get into this, guys, make sure you grab the 16-round draft solution. Secure the solution. Secure the championship. Sleepers, breakouts, optimal players, draft. You tried everything you need to smash your league. Secure the 16-round draft solution. Use code SMASH to save. All right, let's talk about this. Let's talk about players. Are they going to be gold or are they going to be sold? Sold in the trash. I mean, that's not even. We need if we wanted to do sold, we should do like a cash register, don't you think?
Selling. I think a cash register would have been better there.
Oh, this episode has completely failed now because of that. No, it's going to be a good show. All right, the first person we're talking about here, is he gold or are you going to sell him? Are you not going to draft him? Is Travis Etienne, who's had years to wow me, Gwen, and guess what?
You're not wowed.
I'm not wowed. Connor isn't even wowed. I asked Connor before the show. You guys are thinking it's really weird that he's a real animal, and he talks. So we had this conversation, and he was actually pretty upset because he was really high on Etienne last year. He was like, everybody, I love Etienne, and then he busted. I can't do the Connor impression as good as Connor does, but he finished as wide receiver. I mean, I'm pulling this up in PPR 17 running back. I'm talking. Too much Connor talk. Running back 17 Etienne last year, 220 attempts, Gwen. And he just crapped the bed. I don't know what to tell you. 17th amongst running backs. He had the opportunity to thrive. He didn't. Are you sold on Etienne? Is he a good player? Is he going to crush it this year?
So I'm going draft for him.
Yeah,
based on what I'm hearing out of camp, I'm going to change my tune on him. I think I previously noted that Peterson loves a committee, but he recently said he wants to get Etienne 1,600 to 1,700 yards as a rusher. And after putting up over 1,400 yards from scrimmage in his first year playing, I don't think Doug is too far off on his potential. I think if you're able to get him, you have to snag Bigsby as a handcuff, since I think he has the talent to immediately take over if Etienne goes down.
Well, I don't know if you know my style, but I never handcuff because here's what I do. I know this sounds really sad and really mean and everything like that, but I tend to go for like a Bigsby in the hopes that Etienne will fail. Does that make sense? So I end up getting the value. If I don't believe in a running back, for example, Etienne, I end up grabbing his backup, who was actually drafted in the 3rd round, who looks pretty good. I just saw an explosive play by Tank Bigsby. Yeah. I end up grabbing like a Bigsby in the hopes that there's a failure at that running back. And that's just how I work. So I would never handcuff. I would never draft Etienne. So when I look at Etienne though, and what the coaches are saying, 1,700 whatever scrimmage yards, I don't believe it. I don't believe anything the coaches are saying. Recently, just news came out a day or two ago. They're saying that Bijan Robinson, Bijan, is 3rd on the depth chart. That is total BS. I don't believe anything that the teams, the beat writers, and the coaches say, because I can see and spot out talent. And Etienne just didn't wow us last year. 17th, he finished in fantasy points. And he had the opportunity, only 5. I think he's got 5 touchdowns in 2 seasons. He missed his entire complete first season. So I'm not sold. We're going to have to disagree on this one. So you are actually going to
draft.
Yes. Draft. Do you think he's gold? I think he's absolute trash. I will never touch him, won't go near him. So that's good. We had our first debate here. I'd bring up Connor to debate with you, but you guys do that all the time. We don't want to
Yeah.
bring him out yet. All right,
No.
the second guy here, Lamar Jackson. Is he gold this year? Obviously, the Ravens think he is. They drafted Zay Flowers. They did things to accommodate him to make him feel warm and fuzzy. But the guy has not finished the past 2 seasons. He can't throw over 3,000 yards. He hasn't had a good season since what, like 3, 4 years ago? I think it was 4 years ago he had
Yeah.
a decent season. What are your thoughts on Lamar Jackson going into this year? He's like $1 billion man now. Finished 14th last year amongst quarterbacks. In fantasy? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on him, and we've talked about him a couple of times on other shows, and I think while he is very impressive and he has very impressive weapons, you just can't trust him to stay healthy, like I think I said before. If he's able to stay healthy, I think he'll put up top 3 to 5 numbers, but I like my quarterback to be a for sure thing, and I think he's anything but a for sure
For
option. So,
sure. For sure,
for
he's not a for
sure,
sure thing.
pass.
So yeah, I mean, I agree. Like he just again, past couple years hasn't done anything, and I'm pretty good when I gauge players and say, "Oh, this player's been overpaid." I really think that the league is very desperate for good quarterbacks, and they're kind of holding on to the Lamar Jackson from years ago. And when I look at Lamar Jackson, I see a guy who runs a lot, puts himself at injury risk, and that's a big problem. I remember a couple years ago, Carson Wentz was a guy that got paid. I think it was $128 million deal at the time.
Yeah.
I think we're going back like 2017, 2018-ish. And I said, hey, man, like Carson Wentz is a big time waste of money. And I did a post on it. Everybody thought I was crazy. You're so mean. How could you say that? Go Eagles, fly, Eagles, fly. And I'm like, no, the guy's a piece of garbage. Like he sucks. And then sure enough, I was right. I don't think Lamar is that bad, but I just don't think he's worth the amount of money that they paid him. I don't know what it was. It was like, it's a lot of money, 50 million a year, something stupid like that.
Yeah.
Not worth it. And
Yeah.
they're going to realize very quickly this year that he's not going to bounce back to that shape. So, in regards to fantasy, there's just safer quarterbacks to get, and I would go ahead and go a route with safer. And if you want to know exactly who to get, make sure you get the 16-round draft solution. All right, moving on here. The next guy who I've got question marks again, similar player to Lamar Jackson in regards to he runs a lot. And I love running. Listen, I have no problem with rushing if you're Jalen Hurts, because if you look at Jalen Hurts' body, he's built better.
Yes.
And I'm a big Andrew Luck fan. Yeah, you look at these lanky, skinny, wiry guys. I'm just like, dude, you're one twig snap away from potential injury. I look at Hurts, he's built well. I look at
Yeah.
Josh Allen, built well. Josh Allen, Hurts, Mahomes even, like he's got that limberness, strength, mobility. I mean, these guys are mobile. Something just So, and again, they don't throw for a lot of yards either, right? Where you got the balance with a guy like Hurts. Again, I was a big Andrew Luck guy. Like I was saying, back when I first started getting into fantasy hardcore, like 2012, 13, around that time, Andrew Luck ran, but he ran just enough. He threw the ball. He had that nice, strong balance. Same type of thing. When I look at a guy like Lamar Jackson, and particularly Justin Fields, I don't feel warm and fuzzy, right? And again, they don't throw for a lot. I think Fields threw for 2,200 yards last year, and you could say they added DJ Moore. They made improvements. There's some highlight reels going. But I don't know. I don't feel warm and fuzzy. What are your thoughts here on Fields going into the season?
Yeah, and so before I say something on Fields, I did wanna quickly say something about Carson Wentz because you, like, slandered him, and he was my
Yes.
quarterback. He got us to the Super Bowl, though. He played that whole season, and if he didn't get injured, like,
Yeah,
people
yeah,
can
yeah.
argue about what and Nick Foles took us. I will say, I don't think he's complete trash. He did end up being trash after that, but anyway,
After that,
uh,
yes.
yeah. So Fields, I'm gonna say pass. Like Lamar Jackson, I don't think Fields is a for sure thing. Obviously, there's a huge upside here if he can figure things out with his passing game. But I don't think he's going to be the first quarterback that I draft this year. And I think it's just a good policy to always fade Ohio State quarterbacks.
Yeah,
Not
I'm gonna go ahead and fade him too. Again, he could come out. He's got a lot of ceiling, and what people will say, and they'll say it in the comments. Drop a comment below. Let us know if you guys think these guys are gold or sold. But what they'll say is, well, Joe, we got the rushing upside, and I say to that, be careful when a guy runs that much. He is susceptible to a lot of injury, and he's just not a guy that throws a lot. I want a quarterback that's got that nice balance, and they're just safer quarterbacks to get. Especially at his ADP, give me like Trevor Lawrence or
Yeah.
Herbert. I like the yardage, and I got those rushing touchdowns occasionally. All
Yeah.
right, so yeah, I'm leaning a little bit more towards the soul. I'm selling a lot of things here, Gwen. I'm not. I need something a little bit more gold, and I think this guy may be it. Our next guy here I don't even know if that sounds like gold. It sounds like almost like a casino or like one of those
Yeah, like slot machine.
slot machine type thing. Um, yeah. All right, Saquon Barkley here. Is he gold or is he sold? What are your thoughts on Mr. Saquon, who just recently got paid around $13 million if you include incentives for the year? I think he still has a lot to prove. What are your thoughts on Mr. Saquon?
Yeah, so and I am wearing my Penn State jersey today, but
Yeah.
obviously I'm going to go draft with Saquon. Actually, my fantasy football team name is Saquon UC.
Oh
um,
my goodness,
but yeah,
that is something Connor would say. Oh,
Listen-
Saquon, you see. Something so Connor would do. But anyway, go ahead.
I love it. So I'm drafting him after after getting his 1 year deal. I expect him to ball out. I think he's going to be on a mission to prove that he is the engine of their offense, both on the ground and in the passing game. And I think he's going to have a career year this year. I'm
Yeah.
hoping for
I
him.
like them. I like
Yeah,
them. I mean, I liked them better last year when the fantasy football consensus sheeps and Connor weren't on him, but now they're obviously on him. They're aware that he's good. I was getting him in the second round as my RB2. He's outside the top 10 on all Connor consensus sheeps rankings last year. Now he's in the top 10. So they're on to him, Gwen. And when they're on to people, I don't like them as much. I like players and getting them before everybody else is on them. Like last year, Amon-Ra St. Brown is another example,
yeah,
like a fourth round guy. Now everyone's drafting him in the second round. So I like to know when to hold him, know when to fold him. But either way, I think barring any type of injury, Saquon is primed for a phenomenal year. There's no reason to deny him this year. I mean, again, he's still got to prove himself. So whether he gets
sure.
drafted or traded next year or maybe gets that mega contract, he's got something to prove. And he's got a nice chunk of change with $13 million to kind of light a fire under him, to kind of say, hey, we got to perform. So I'm wishing the best for Saquon. I was just watching a training video with him. He looked good, caught a nice ball, ran hard for a touchdown in training. So we'll have to see. All right, the next guy here is the older. I was never a fan of this guy. I still am not. Tyler Lockett is the next guy here. What are your thoughts on him with the new addition of Jackson Smith, JSN now on the team? I mean, I don't know. I just think the time has run out on Lockett. What do you like Lockett with Geno Smith throwing to him?
I'm gonna pass. I think this is a really tricky one since he's now, like you said, third fiddle in Seattle with JSN and DK eating up pretty much all the targets, and he's on the wrong side of 30. Um, however, his ADP is in the 6th round, and he's still pumping out 1,000-yard seasons. So I think he's always good for about one explosive play per game, and I expect the
Yeah.
Seahawks to continue airing it out with Geno Smith in his second year as a starter there. I'm not the biggest Lockett person, so I'm going to pass on him. But if his ADP falls to, say, the 7th or the 8th round, I think he's a safe selection in that range for sure.
I think they fade him out. I really think
Yeah.
that this is the year they might trade him midseason if JSN gets into that groove. And again, are we sold on Geno Smith being the guy? Is he going to be the him or whatever they say?
Yeah.
I'm just not sold on Geno Smith. He had a good year last year. Is that going to continue? I don't know. Again, with the DK Metcalf there, Jackson Smith, the running backs catch the ball in the backfield, both decent pass catching running backs with Walker and Zach Charbonnet. Lockett, I just don't think volume's going to be there for him. And that's another reason why I'm stayed away from JSN. I think it's just going to be spread around. I don't know who the true wide receiver one is. The ADPs are relatively high for these guys. So, yeah, he's definitely a sold for me. Sold or dumped for me. No draft for me. All right, moving on here for the next guy. How do you deny this, right? Travis Kelce, one of the most consistent players in fantasy football. My concern is, Gwen, I see you at some parties once in a while on your social media. I mean, I can see you doing it. You're not a professional player that's got to focus on football and win. This guy has to do it. Like, he's partying all the time. All I see him is doing media things and partying. Is this going to catch up to him, or do you think Kelce has yet another consistently good year? How do you feel about Kelce?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go draft for him. Despite I don't really love the he wanted to give Taylor Swift a friendship bracelet recently, and then he punched
Ridiculous.
his teammate. So some of the stuff he's doing off the field, I'm not the biggest fan of. But
Yeah.
as far as fantasy and on the field, I love Travis Kelce. I think he's far and away the best tight end in the game, and I think he has been for a long time. I think Kelce Mahomes stack single-handedly won me my league last year, and defenses continue to know that he's getting the ball when it matters, but
Can't
his
stop him.
vision, yeah, and you can't stop him. And his vision and his chemistry with Mahomes, it's unmatched. I watched it live in the Super Bowl, unfortunately, because my team lost. But being the best quarterback in the league's favorite target has its perks. So I'm continuing to get him if he falls to me, and I'm not crazy about the other options on the board at my pick. But
When will he go down? When will Travis Kelce absolutely decline or get hurt? I mean, he's bound to have something's going to happen soon. He's been perfect for so long. Maybe it's not this year, but the decline has to happen. It happens to everybody. Maybe it's this year. Maybe his Super Bowl hangovers catch up with him or something like that. But, based on his ADP, I got to spend a late first round, early second on him. I'm just going to pass because I don't go tight ends there. I like the upside of a sleeper, maybe like a Sam Laporta later. So I'm going to have to pass. I'm going to sell him this year, although there's no denying that he is as safe as they come. And he still, I think, has another 1 or 2 good years under the belt before he calls it quits. All right, next guy here. This one's an interesting one because there's a potential holdout at the time of this recording. Josh Jacobs, coming off his pinnacle year, was a contract year. Still, have we checked the latest? I gotta check the latest news on him. I'm gonna Google right now because they get.
He hasn't signed his franchise tag yet, and I saw recently that the Raiders might pull it and let him go to their free agency. So, based on what his whole situation is very unclear right now. So, I was gonna say I'm gonna pass for now.
I'm hearing Adams. Yeah, Adams is saying he's displeased with the absence of Jacobs. Yeah, I mean, this franchise tag is on the, they might pull that back, right? They're saying.
Yeah. I mean, but last year was his first year playing a full season, and he went off a super high volume role. Like he had over 1,600 yards for 300 carries. So I think he would be good but we just don't know his situation right now. So it's hard.
Yeah, I mean, red flags are a big thing for me, honestly. So when I see red flags, I'm just like, when you have a potential holdout, and especially coming off a pinnacle year, that's a big thing for me. So I don't know. I think we should bring in Connor to find out what he thinks on this. I think we need a little.
I don't think we should do that.
I know you're going on vacation, Gwen, and I just think that before you go, you need to see Connor. What do you think?
Gosh. It looks like I don't know.
We're gonna bring him onto the show. He's been waiting in the in queue. I know you dislike Connor, but we got to bring him on the show to weigh in on this.
Yeah.
All right, Connor, welcome to the show. How nice to see you again. Hi, everybody. It's me, and it's me now at this point. I don't need to introduce myself every single time. I gotta say, when it comes to Josh Jacobs, he finished on top last year. And he's going to finish on top again this year. There's really no thought process here. It's a simple copy and paste. Copy and paste. Gwen, your turn. Copy and?
No, we're not pasting.
Yes, we're copying and pasting because he finished on top. And red flags, Schmen flags, whatever. I'm trying to find something to rhyme with red flags. Red flags or not, I'm drafting him.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think I'm going to pass on him. And I'm going to pass on Connor, too. You can go away now.
Gwen, you know what? I remember for your birthday, I sang a birthday song. And I remember I've been nothing but nice to you. And you do nothing but disrespect my herd. So I've had just about enough of you. And I'm glad you're going on vacation. Because guess what? When you come back, I'm going to be the new sidekick on all the shows.
Oh, that's terrible.
I've already got a blonde wig already picked out. So stop it.
Okay, but you really haven't been anything, but you've been mean. You come in and called me an a-hole, etc. So you're now a liar as well.
And you called me lamb chop and wanted to grill me, so I think we're pretty even at this point.
Yeah.
All right, Connor, is there anything else you want to say? Can we end off on a positive note before she goes on vacation?
Oh, wait, Connor, do you want to introduce the next player? Because his last name is what you are.
That's so, I didn't even plan for this, Connor. You guys are not funny at all. But yes, I'd like to introduce Cedric Leon. I think his real name is. But anyway, it's CeeDee Lamb.
Okay, bye, Connor.
All right, I don't think this is very funny at all. And as you know, CeeDee Lamb is a very good player. So, yeah, this is not much of an insult.
Okay.
All right, Connor, is there anything else you want to say? Yeah, Gwen, you suck. All right, that's not a really good way to end it before vacation. All right, bye, Connor. We'll talk to you later. Goodbye, everybody. And remember, copy and paste. Bye. Oh my goodness, Gwen. What do you think of CeeDee Lamb here before I get ready, kick Connor out of the studio here? Thoughts on CeeDee Lamb?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go draft for CeeDee Lamb. I think he's a stud. I've had him on my fantasy teams before. I feel like he's not getting the hype that he deserves after he's been putting up top 10 numbers, especially last year. He was super consistent last year, going for over 1,300 yards and 9 touchdowns. I think he's quietly improving every year of his young career in all major categories. He's up every year in targets, receptions, yards, and touchdowns. I expect this year for him to trend either holding flat or to continue going up. So I think either way, you're getting a great pick at the end of the first or early second round with CD. Even though
Yeah, I'm torn on this. I'm torn on this. I got a Dak problem here. Dak throws a lot of interceptions. And
he is a problem. Did you see what I put? He just got, at the time of this recording, Dak Prescott just got annihilated by Derek Carr's brother on, did you see that?
No, what happened?
Yeah, so Dak Prescott was in a quarterback, like a throwing competition with Derek Carr's brother, and so not even the better Carr, and he got ruined. Like he was beat so badly. Yeah, it's on Instagram right now, and I think it's on my story at the moment. So maybe I'll post it again tomorrow for everyone.
Yeah, Dak is sitting as a QB 10 right now. I'm just like, I don't know. Like something's telling me I don't know. I think he's safe. I think CeeDee Lamb is safe. There's other people I'd rather be drafting in the first couple rounds, including running backs. For that reason, I'm passing. But I mean, I think he could be gold this year. Again, contract year. He's been, like you said, elevating every single year, getting better. Dak is in that year where he's kind of got to do something to really show his name. Like I am great, or he's never going to be great. I think he's going to be a good quarterback, never great. I mean, he's got to do something. I mean, he's the main target. I don't know what else to say. They've got, I think Gallup's still there. I think Deuce Vaughn gets involved in the passing. That small little man there, Deuce Vaughn.
Yeah, he's tiny.
Tiny, yeah. He's had a lot of clips of him starting to go viral. I mean, his pass blocking is actually, not bad. So he's doing pretty good. So I don't know. This one's a tough one. I got to say he's gold, but I'm personally not drafting. All right, let's move on to the last one here. Derrick Henry. This one's a tough one here because, again, this guy is older. He's been worked. He's got a lot of tread worn off the tires. They drafted Tajay Spears, who was a workhorse in college. This one's a tough one for me. What are your thoughts on Derrick Henry? Maybe you might sway me a certain way.
I'm going draft because I think he's seemingly ageless. Until he proves me otherwise, he has to be a draft. He rushed for over 1,500 yards again last season, and until I see any decline, I don't think there's any reason to pass on him. So
yeah, I'm going to lean towards this is his last hurrah year. I mean, how do I deny the great talent of Derrick Henry, workhorse? And I was a little more turned on to Derrick Henry when they acquired DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
Because that opens things up. With Treylon Burks as your one, there's going to be stacked boxes all day. This acquisition of Hopkins really helped Derrick Henry to spread the defenses back, key in on the big name that is Hopkins, and open things up yet again for Henry. That was a big turn on for me. And then obviously Tannehill, safe and steady as they come. No big quarterback change as of yet. If Levis does get the nod to start, that may be, that may help or hinder Henry. And that's a little bit of my concern is when there's a quarterback change that could ripple down to the talent around. So I'm going to say one more year with Henry here. I liked him better last year because he was coming off an injury. And I was like, yeah, bounce back for sure. Now coming off a big year yet again, is he going to maintain? And it's very hard to maintain that type of level of great success. So that's my only concern. So yeah, I think he's gold. I'm going to go here with gold.
Yeah. I wish I had control of the sound effects when you said that he was a big turn on for you. So I could do the Deshaun Watson. yeah. You're like, that's a big turn on for me. I'm like, oh, really?
Yeah, definitely. All right, that's it. We're talking gold or sold, and those are some of your players for you. It was a good episode, Gwen. And again, you're going on vacation. Might squeak out a couple more episodes with you while you're gone because we pre-recorded some, and we got some reels coming through
Yes.
when you're out on the cruise, that you can maybe get us some more content. You stay tapped in. So make sure you guys are following her at the Football Barbie. Gotta take this banner off so you guys can see it. And make sure you guys grab the 16-round draft solution. Sleepers, breakouts, optimal players draft each round. Use code SMASH to save. We've linked it below. Gwen, thanks. We appreciate you. We'll talk soon.
Talk soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. We'll talk soon. Go for the gold.